Okay, we're wrapping up here, kind of right back where we started, in this nice shady area at the Farm and Food Lab. I like how they're drying those gourds over there, and then they have schools come over here and they make them into birdhouses. So a couple more things before we talk about the mission and what community gardens are. Look at these cool jelly palms, also called a pindo palm. Jelly palm. These are Butia capitata, I believe. And I tasted one. They're actually very interesting. They are edible. These are very old palms. There's a whole bunch of fruit on the ground there. All right, so let's talk about like kind of their mission here. So their mission here is to educate the public, on permaculture, recycling. Look at these succulents planted in these boxes. This whole site, everything is containerized in these container houses. This whole site is built on a former army base. So this was all government land and has been turned into a farm and food lab, again, to teach the people. It's really important to have a community garden space open for that type of general education, especially for the youngins, so they can get a kind of come in and see, how it's done. For example, outside of this bed, I was just watching some kids earlier before the video, and they were having a great time learning about the oyas. You guys know the oyas, how they water. They put water in these jars. There's water in these jars, and the clay is porous, and it wicks out that water into the bed and waters the plants. And they were loving it. And they were also loving the marigolds. They never smelled marigolds and stuff like that. So it was really important to get children and the community that are not aware of this stuff to know that. Some community gardens, it's like you rent a space and you grow your own food. That's one type of community garden. This is like a real community garden where it's here for the purpose of education. And you could even modify it where you could have people take food. They come in here, learn how to harvest food, when to plant food, and then you empower them to grow their own if they can. So again, if you want to come up, you can sign up for their newsletter and their plant sales. Here's their little doohickey. And they always take donations. They have events here. And like you heard from my student back there, you can volunteer here and learn and also put in hours and things like that if you need to for your social responsibility. But again, a really good place here. The main point for this trip was to show you some integrated permaculture principles mixed with the education. Now, real quick, I think I forgot to mention, the actual community garden where people have plots to grow their own vegetables is back in here. So this is like all the public area where you can just kind of hang out and do your stuff. And then back in this fenced area, looks like their production area. And it's cool too because it's hedgerows. These are hedgerows of bay laurel, and there's persimmon trees. They have willow trees here. Back there,